Hey everyone, it's Brick. Bricklink Studio is somewhat of a learning curve, but if you stick around on this video, I will show you the tips that I used to be successful with it and be a top-notch designer. Just look at Shawarma here. It's pretty awesome. It's over there on Rebrickable. Go check it out after this video. In the meantime, here's some tips to be successful with Bricklink Studio.
All right, here we are in Bricklink Studio. Bricklink Studio is the program that I use, that I finally figured out how to use, and that's how I do my Lego design. It is the industry standard as far as I'm concerned, and I will die on that anthill. Anyway, we're going to create a new project by just clicking there, and this is our build plate. We can zoom in and out, we can move it around. If you add parts to it, you can expand the area as you build. And over here on the left are the various categories. We have our bricks, our round bricks, we have slopes, we have plates, and the big takeaway here is learning what the different categories are, because that is the biggest hurdle when it comes to Lego design. When it comes to designing these type of things, it's understanding the pieces that you've used, whether you've been you played with them as a kid or you're collecting them as an adult. You understand that these are all Legos, but you need to understand what type of Legos they are. So it's understanding the terminology that will help you close the disconnect between, putting parts on the plate and actually designing. And the reason why is because you'll have an idea and you'll be like, oh, well, I want these particular parts in it. Once you know what the parts are, you can find them. So for example, we're going to start building the Tony Stark desk that is available for free on Rebrickable. I suggest you go over there and pick it up because I designed it. I have this idea in my head of what it looks like when I designed it. And it's like, all right, well, it needs to have legs, so I think it needs to have round legs. So I could go to the round brick section and find, these parts quite easily. But say I didn't know that they were round bricks, or say I knew that they were round bricks, but I didn't know where to find them. I know that sounds silly because they're right there, but I could type in, okay, I need a 1x1, 1 stud by 1 stud, round brick. And now I'm only searching through a very small section of the catalog, and it's going to show me items that sort of meet that criteria. So, all right, I've got my 1x1 round brick for the feet of my Tony Stark desk. I don't want it to look white, so I'm going to go over here to the right, and I wanted to give it sort of that metallic look, but maybe not crazy metallic, maybe just sort of metallic, like a gray color. So I hit my drop down here. Notice that this filter is turned on, and this filter will only show me the colors that are available in the Bricklink catalog. This is important if you want to create instructions for others to build your stuff. If you don't have this turned on, it's going to show you all the colors in the rainbow, regardless of if they are actually, bricks that are available for purchase, whether they belong to Lego sets or wherever. This will guarantee with this filter on that any colors you choose are available for purchase. They either exist in other sets or you can buy them in bulk or whatever. So we're going to keep that filter on. We're going to scroll down and choose light bluish gray. Light bluish gray is a common piece that is found in virtually 1,000 billion sets. And that's why this little dollar sign here shows you a rough price per part of what it is. But the takeaway here is that this is a common thing because it's only $1 sign. Down here, medium blue, It's $2 signs. It's a little bit rarer to find. You might have to, you'll either be paying more or it's something that isn't in a lot of existing sets, that sort of thing. The sand green, the sand blue. Yeah, and I've seen some that are up to $3 signs too for various parts. So you just want to keep that in mind. You want to build something. If you want to build something that the majority of people can take your instructions and build themselves, you're gonna want to do them a solid and keep your parts around available stuff. So I'm gonna make it light bluish gray. Now I could go back to the well, grab another one of these. Notice that once I've added a color, I have a little ongoing color palette here going. I could just click there to color it. Or I could select these 2 feet because, you know, desks typically have 4 legs on them. I could go up to edit, copy, and then I could also keyboard shortcut and paste. And now I got my 4 legs of my desk. Now, thinking back about the movies, the Iron Man movies, I'm like, Tony's desk is kind of, maybe it's got like a roundish look to it because it's a sci-fi movie and everything is like, you know, super sleek, and he's, you know, a playboy billionaire, so, you know, he's got really cool things. So I know the desk needs to be flat, so it's probably going to be a plate, and it's probably going to be round, maybe, or maybe it's a curve. Let's see. Oh, where can I find it here? So yeah, something like this. It's a curve, nice curved plate, and so we're gonna put that on there. And like I said, maybe because he's, you know, it's all sleek and stylish, so we're gonna give it a nice little look like that. All right. And now I'm going to start building up the top of the desk. So perhaps, you know, I can make a completely smoothed out desk, but maybe I want to put some accessories on there, stuff that Tony would have on his desk. So another important piece that you're going to want to get down into your, you know, brick or Lego vocabulary is jumpers. Jumpers are those goofy little pieces that are sort of smooth like a tile, but they have a little stud in the middle. It's a jumper. And so there's 1x2 jumpers, which are like this, and then you got your you know, 2x2 jumpers. And these are great, like if you're making a city sidewalk and you want your minifigures to actually stand, and, you know, when you bump the table, they don't fall over because they'll stand in place. And the majority of the piece is smooth. So if you had a light bluish gray jumper that looks like a sidewalk and you have a Lego figure on it, people aren't going to notice, oh, it looks better than, say, using a 2x2 plate that has all these exposed studs. You have a nice smooth sidewalk, you want your minifigures to be on it, use a jumper. So I'm going to add some jumpers to this. Again, we're keeping the theme. Nice gray look to his desk. I'm going to add another jumper. Oh. Over on that side. And some more jumpers. And while you're designing, it might look a little like cluttered and like you're replacing studs for more studs, but it will all look better once we cover up most of these. So we're going to put those there, and one more jumper for good measure. Cannot have too many of these. All right, and now let's smooth out the desk, because after all, this is a Tony Stark desk, so it has to be sleek. So I'm going to put some tiles on here, and I'm going to do a tile 2x3. Oops. Tile, not tiles. I'm going to put a 2x3 tile in here. I'm going to use my arrow keys to rotate the piece that I have selected, and make it gray. And then I want to kind of clean up these edges here. To move the plate around like this, I'm using my right click on my mouse while holding the shift key. If I remove my finger from shift, it rotates the build plate like so. The left click is primarily used for picking up parts off of your build plate. But yeah, so when you see it rotating like this, I don't have my finger on the shift key. But when I put my finger on the shift key, then I can move the whole plate like this. Tile, round, corner. There they are. Do I want that one? I think I do want that one. Yeah. All right. Make that gray too. Copy it, paste it. Boom. And we will do one more bit of tiles here, the tile quarter. All right. That's these little pieces. I'm gonna put them in as white and then select them both and change them. So I'm gonna rotate. Oh, too many. Put them in there, and then I can select both. So if I hold down the shift key, no, not the shift key. I'm using a Mac, so if I hold down the command key, I can select them both, and then color them both. And I could select all the pieces and go up here, and you know, all these pieces have these colors in common because I have the filter on, so I can make it all green if I wanted to. We're gonna keep it like bluish gray though. All right, moving on to bars. Bars is another category that you should make sure you have a firm grasp on, because bars are anything with these little grippy items that a minifigure hand can basically connect to. I don't know why these are here. That's weird. But we got our bars, and it took me a while to figure this out, but length is an important thing when it comes to the type of bars we are using. So there's a 3L bar that is that height. Just gonna stick that there for now. There's also a 4L bar, which is that height, and you can see the difference in height. So that's important when you're doing your designs. All right, so bars are important, and knowing the length of bars are important, because we have two different lengths in this Tony Stark desk. We've got the 4L here, and we've got two 3Ls on either side. And you'll see why in a second. But first, let's make them pretty, because I'm sick and tired of all this light bluish gray parts here. We're going to look for a transparent color, transparent light blue. This is a very common color. It looks super cool. You know, it's what lightsabers are made out of. And yeah, it does have that sort of transparent sheen even here in the program, the Bricklink. So we've got our 3 bars in place, and now we're going to add some holographic computer terminals to it, because of course we are. These are tiles. These are tiles that are 2x3, and from there, oh, I keep on doing tiles. It's tile, singular, not plural. 2x3 tiles, and these actually, are these considered modified tiles? They might be. Yes, they are. So we've got our modified tiles, and there's a couple different kinds, and it's based on the little grips here. So we got this kind that have a sort of rigid grip, and then we got this kind. And it's important to know the difference because it's possible that the color we're choosing for these might not be in the catalog. We're choosing a transparent light blue again. All right, this one has it. Let's see if this one has it. They might both have it, and that's fine too, but you know, there's similar, yeah, they both have it. We're gonna go with the rounded one because it looks better, in my opinion. There are certain parts that, you know, one type of it has the color and the other type doesn't. Also something to note, if you ever come across a part, I'm just gonna pick this random part here, and I'm going to go into the drop down, and this is a part that's only available in white. All right, but if I were to select this and then go to my little custom palette here of colors, and I select the transparent light blue, you're going to see down here in my parts list a little exclamation mark, which basically says that the color's unavailable. So as you scroll through the your parts, if you start to see that, you're going to want to change the color if the expectation is for you to be making instructions for other people to build. Hope that makes sense. Bit of a tangent, but we'll run with it. Let's build some monitors here on our desk. So we're going to put this one up here, like so. It's gripping the bar. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste. And I'm going to use my arrow keys to flip it the other direction, and then I'm going to use the up-down keys to turn it around, and I'm going to move it right here like so. Now this looks alright, but that whole sleek attitude that is Stark Industries and being a maverick and thinking different and Apple Computer just isn't there with all these straight lines. So what you can do to make not straight lines is our little hinge. Yes, you click the hinge, you select this little hinge icon up here, and that creates little arrows on the items that we select. So right now we've got this monitor or this plate selected. We can select this plate. Whichever one we select, that's what these little movement arrows are for. And we can click and hold and move this, and we can be super precise, and there's some instances where we want to be super precise. And we're going to move this one in like this to give it a sort of curved looking effect to sort of contour around the rounded edge of the desk. And we're going to leave it like that because it looks good. We're next going to add more monitors. So again, I could go back to the well, I could go back to here, select this, color it, whatever, but I'm just gonna keep using the same parts for this. So I'm gonna copy, paste, put it down here. I got two monitors there. I'm gonna paste again and put one on this screen. I don't like how that's sticking out. It'll be right in Tony's face. So I'm gonna hit my hinge again, and I'm gonna back up the train a bit. Put it like that, you know? Because it's like he's got a wall of monitors. They're all holograms. He's just moving them around with his hands. But you know, in Lego world, they have to be a physical object. So we're just going to use these transparent ones. They're kind of sort of get in the way, but not really. Gonna add some more monitors. There's another one. Curve it in this way. Grab this one. And I'm gonna... Whoop. So now Tony needs a place to sit. He sometimes stands, he sometimes sits. We're gonna make a chair. It's a simple chair, but it's a chair all the same. So this is a tile, believe it or not. And now tiles are typically smooth, but this is, I'm going to show you what is a tile, but isn't 100% smooth. It's kind of like a jumper actually. So 2x2 round. Is it modified? It might be modified because there's a lot of things here. Oh, here we are. Okay, open stud. So this is a tile piece, but it isn't a smooth tile piece like, you know, a hubcap or a manhole cover or a pizza. This is one with a stud in it. And it also needs a 1x1 round plate. Put that on there. And we're going to color these black because they're common pieces, and it's just the bottom part of the chair. Not a lot going on here. And we're going to make a chair because that's what it is. And they have a chair piece. So we're going to grab that, stick it on the base. Oop, turn it around. Collision detected something strange. That's okay. And let's make this dark bluish gray because we're sick of the light bluish gray. Now with this chair, it's all individual pieces, but say in the instructions I wanted to make this separate from my desk, from the desk's instructions. I could select all these pieces and right click and go to submodel and create. And this creates a submodel in your build. So I'm going to call this chair because that's what it is. And now when the submodel is created, when I select it, I select the whole thing. Now if I wanted to make changes to it, I could right click, go to submodel and view. All right, so now this brings me into a build area that is just the chair. And from here, I can select the individual pieces. And if I go over here on the right, you'll see that all these pieces are in step 1. So step 1, make a chair. But say I wanted to break this up into multiple steps. I can. I just hit add step, and I'll create 3 steps. So the first step, because I and most people who build with Legos typically try to build from the bottom up because it's just easier. I'm going to start with the bottommost piece, the piece that sticks to your base plate, which is this. So I'm going to leave that in step 1. I'm going to move on to the next piece off of that, which is my 1x1 round plate. Drag that into step 2, and then I'm going to grab my chair and drag it into step 3. So what that looks like in the instructions is step 1. Here, we're going to put it in instruction view for a second. So step 1, we have our plate, our tile. Step 2, we add our plate. Step 3, the chair. Done. Awesome. So that shows us how steps work, and it also shows us submodels. So let's go back to our main model. So we got our chair, we got our desk, but it still looks kind of boring because we need to put stuff on it. So in this particular build, I decided to put a book. And it's a simple book. It isn't something too crazy because I didn't want the book to take up the entire desk and look out of place. So I start with a 1x2 plate. And let's make this is the open part of this is the cover of the book, because the book, in this particular case, the book is open. So we're gonna make that open book a black book. And then we're gonna grab some slopes. And the slopes we're using are slope 30. I don't know what the 30 means. If you know what 30 means in the slope, is it the angle, whatever, please let me know in the comments, because it will not only benefit me, who doesn't have a clue what the 30 and slope 30 means, because this is a slope 30, and this is also a slope 30, even though it's longer, all right? But it won't only benefit me, who doesn't know, but it'll benefit other people who come to my video and wonder the same thing. And there'll be this comment there that says, hey, slope 30 means that it's a 30-degree angle or a 30-degree axis, or that took 30 of these slopes to make one thing originally. Yeah, this looks like the kind of phone Tony Stark would have. It's got buttons, got numbers, it's got enough battery. And we need to color it because they don't make this phone in white. I don't think this is an Apple phone. So if we go here, yeah, light bluish gray is the only color for this phone. Let's put it on the desk. Put it on this stud here. We will turn it so it looks good. And moving on, Tony always seems to be drinking protein shakes or smoothies, of course. So mug, no mugs, but there might be cups. Cups? Yes, cups. Put a cup on there. Oh, collision is okay. So this is showing us that maybe this angle we put the phone at is not a good angle, but we'll put the cup down first and turn it like so. Put the phone on, and we might be able to get some play out of this and turn it ever so slightly. So, turned it a little too much. Let's move it back. Oh, I see. So it is cutting it off. That's okay. It'll all sort of fit. And there you have it. Here is the Tony Stark desk with some accessories, minus Tony, but that's okay. Or is it? There he is. There's that guy. Tony Stark. Yes, in Bricklink Studio, you can also make minifigures and put them in your design. I like to have a full minifigure around if I'm getting confused with scale, particularly with buildings. It's good to have a minifigure to sort of give you an idea of how big your piece of furniture is, or how big your room is, or whatnot. This is the Civil War Tony Stark that I put together for yet another build on my Rebrickable page. This is from the Civil War diorama. It comes with instructions to make your very own Civil War version Tony Stark, complete with the little nanotech glove that he uses up against the Winter Soldier. It's a pretty snazzy suit. There's a little airplane on it, but you can take a little Sharpie to that, and then it looks like a sweet vested suit that he's wearing. So there you have it. So here's Tony at his desk, and this is how we designed it. In a later video, I am going to show you how I make instructions. I've asked a bunch of designers how they make instructions, and the one thing we all have in common is we all seem to make instructions differently. There's no wrong way to make them, and I've got a way of making them that it works for me. I'm not going to say it's the best because I'm sure there's a better way, but it works for me. But that's another video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. The channel is growing. It's really kind of exciting. I love where this is happening. If you got value from this video, if this helps in any way, please hit that subscribe button. Please like the video. Hit the little bell if you want to get notified whenever videos come out. I really appreciate it. It does help the channel by doing that. And I appreciate all of you who are here watching this. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helps if you've been on the fence about designing using Bricklink Studio. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.